You're trying to stay calm, stick to the routine, pretend everything's under control. But something inside you has already started to crack. It's subtle, or maybe not. Maybe you snapped at someone. Maybe you're feeling empty, exhausted, afraid of losing something or someone. Maybe you're still playing a role that can no longer bear the weight of its own mask. That's the effect of the square between the Sun in Taurus and Pluto in Aquarius. This is not a light aspect. It's a direct clash between ego and soul, between what you built to protect yourself and what needs to be destroyed so you can live truthfully. Today, the sky is telling you something loud and clear. What you're trying to control is trying to set you free. But for that to happen, you'll have to stop resisting. The sun represents your identity, what you show, what you uphold, what you claim to be. But Pluto is everything you try to hide. It's the underworld of your being, what you suppress, disguise, repress. It's the shadow. When these two clash in a square, like they are now, something inside you breaks, and that fracture isn't visible to others. It happens on the inside, in silence, in the weight no one sees, in the effort it takes to keep being someone you no longer are. You might still be smiling on the outside, but inside, you're in ruins. And the cruelest part of it all, you know it. You know you're resisting something that's already expired. You know you're fighting for something that's already dead. You know you're clinging to a version of yourself that only survives because you're afraid to find out who you are without it. This square isn't about loss. It's about seeing what was never real. The sun in Taurus wants to preserve, to protect, to maintain, to control. But Pluto in Aquarius demands deprogramming. It rips your identity up by the roots, pulls the ground out from under you, and forces you to rebuild with what's left, if anything is left at all. And something always is, but never what you expected. Only what's essential remains, the essence that survives the collapse. This is the beginning of the fracture, and the more you try to stop it from opening, the deeper it gets. Because Pluto doesn't want to break you, it wants to reveal you. But first, it'll strip away everything that's keeping you from being. You're trying to keep everything as it is. The routine, the relationship, your role in the world. But at what cost? This square reveals that what you call stability might actually be just fear of change. The sun in Taurus craves predictability, permanence, emotional and material security. Pluto in Aquarius wants the opposite: disruption, revolution, the breakdown of structure. And the result? You feel torn, caught between protecting yourself and setting yourself free, between holding on to something that no longer reflects who you are, or letting go and risking something new. But here's the truth. The more you try to control, the more life slips away. The tighter you hold on, the heavier it becomes. The more it suffocates, the more it becomes a cage. And what seems like collapse might just be the beginning of your reconstruction. Pluto doesn't knock you down all at once. It stacks small pressures, silences, discomforts, bottled up frustrations, until one day you explode or implode. Today it might seem like you lost it over something small, but it's not the trigger, it's the buildup. This square is exposing everything you've been suppressing to keep up appearances. All the swallowed anger, all the desires you've buried, all the emotions silenced in the name of logic or maturity. But now, your body can't hold it in anymore. Your mind can't rationalize everything away, and your heart is done negotiating with fear. And then the shadow shows up, that version of you that you hide, but that still lives inside, finds its voice, and it won't leave until it's heard. This is not the time to run from what you feel. It's the time to embrace what you've been pretending didn't exist, because only what's seen can be transformed. Maybe it feels like you're losing everything, but maybe you're only losing what was never truly real. This square hits the ego right in the center, and that's why it hurts. Because the ego wants to preserve, but Pluto comes to transform. It might feel like everything you built is under threat. The title that defines your identity, the relationship that holds your emotional security, the image you've projected and protected for so long. But what if none of that is truly your essence? What if you're just dismantling the persona you created to survive? This is the crisis, when the soul starts asking for space and the ego fights to hold on. But if you listen closely, you'll realize this pain isn't death, it's birth. It's your truth asking to be born. This square also speaks of archetypes, of tensions that go beyond the personal and touch the collective, the times we're in, the very structure of things. Taurus wants to preserve. Pluto in Aquarius wants to revolutionize. You're caught in the middle of the clash between what feels safe and what sets you free. And here's the paradox. What feels safe today might be the very thing holding you back. Stability is beautiful until it becomes stagnation, and change is terrifying until it becomes rebirth. Pluto is calling you, not to destroy, but to reveal what's still alive inside you. And if you're brave enough to look, you might discover that what's falling apart was never truly yours to begin with. There comes a point when the comfort zone turns into a cage. You're no longer growing, no longer feeling, just surviving, following the routine you created to shield yourself from fear. But Pluto doesn't care about comfort zones. It breaks in, tears down, cracks open what once felt solid. And now the sun, your core identity, is under pressure right there in the part of your life that's still working, but no longer makes sense. This square might reveal relationships that continue out of duty, not love, projects you maintain for status, not purpose, roles you play because you're afraid of being no one without them. But these are exactly the areas where your soul wants to step in, not to destroy you, but to set your truth free. And if you keep postponing it, the universe will give you a push. You might think you're just getting back to normal, trying to regain control, rebuild what's collapsed, patch up soul-deep holes with routine. But the shadow won't let you, because what fell apart wasn't sustainable. The part of you trying to force a return to stability is the same part that's afraid to face what's changed inside, afraid to admit you don't love like you used to, afraid to accept a new truth, afraid to let go of the strong person image you built. But the Sun-Pluto square won't let you retreat. It'll keep pressing until you stop trying to go back to what's already dead. The shadow isn't a monster. It's just the truth you're still afraid to face. What's falling apart inside you right now isn't punishment. It's a passage. It's your soul warning you that the old way of living, loving, and protecting yourself no longer works. It might feel like loss. It might feel like ruin. But this pain is a portal. This square with Pluto forces you to see what's dying within you, what's waiting to be born, and what you're still clinging to just because you're afraid to start something new. If you keep resisting, you'll start to suffer. If you surrender, you'll set yourself free. That's the invitation from the cosmos right now, to face symbolic death as a beginning, not an end. What ends today makes room for something you never would have allowed before. You might try to resist, cling to your justifications, keep forcing something to work through sheer will. But the truth is, Pluto doesn't do half decisions. It doesn't bargain, it cuts. And this square with the sun is exactly that, an ultimatum. What you don't release now will be ripped away later, with more pain, more crisis, more loss. This is the moment to choose consciously, not wait for life to choose for you. You know what's already over. You feel it. You see the signs. All that's missing is the courage to act. And if you don't have it, life will act for you. Right now, the ego is fighting, but the soul has already chosen. It wants lightness. It wants truth. It wants space to expand. Even if that means the end of everything you thought you were. You're no longer that old version of yourself. You don't fit where you once did. You don't feel the same. And all of that is freedom disguised as pain. This Sun-Pluto square is a turning point. Either you surrender to rebirth or keep struggling to revive what no longer exists. The question now is simple and brutal. Are you ready to die as a character? To be born as your truth? If this video hit you, if you feel like something inside you really is collapsing, drop it in the comments. I release what has already died in me. That sentence is more than a release. It's a silent vow to your own liberation. Subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. Here, we don't follow the stars to predict the future. We follow them to transform with it. See you in the next one.